Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. All right. If you guys can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, give me a thumbs down or an angry face. I want to apologize in advance. I'm going to probably have to really rush through this because I got something to do. Hopefully, I'll be able to get through everything that I want to talk to you guys about. And then hopefully, at some point today, I don't know when, I'm going to do another live stream. It's not going to be about cryptocurrency unless something insane happens, which is very possible. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be on BLR1. All right. So if you guys are not subscribed to BLR1, make sure you guys take a moment and do that. If you guys can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face, and I will try to work on it. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right. We got Volvo 2 Love in the building. Shout out to you. We got Lloyd Sky 9. Shout out to you, bro. We got AB Promotions. What's good with it, man? We got Fanteezy in the building. What's good with you, bro? We got DC Precise in the house. Shout out to you. We got Sunkissed by the Most High. And shout out to Joanne. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Hopefully everything is doing good with you. Good to see you. I really hope that you're doing good. It is good to see you. If you got a YouTube account, come over to Blacklight Revelations 2 on YouTube, all right? And come holla at me, all right? So AP Promotions already on the nonsense. AP Promotions already on the nonsense. Oh man, that was almost as funny as she done fell off the couch. But anyway, if y'all to know what we talking about, y'all got to be a part of the Discord. You know what I'm saying? The Discord is dope. Shout out to the Discord gang. You know what I'm saying? If you're not part of the Discord, you're missing out. It's a good time. Click that link. All right, that's in the description. Click that link that's in the comment section. It'll take you right into the Discord, and you'll never miss a notification. All right. So, without further ado, we're gonna talk money. We're gonna talk money. We're gonna reinforce this. The title of this video is that the $150,000 Bitcoin price prediction video era is coming to an end. Doesn't it seem like the $100,000, $150,000 Bitcoin era of making videos, when will it get here, when will it get there, is forever? It seems like it's been going on forever. We're approaching a time period where those videos will no longer be relevant. And if we are making those videos, it'll be because Bitcoin is somehow falling to 150,000. So imagine that. Imagine that, guys. Everybody who has been in cryptocurrency, who has seen these videos for at least the last 10 years of Bitcoin going to 150,000, going to 100,000, there will be no more videos where that topic will be relevant. We are on the precipice of that era coming to an end. Isn't that crazy? It's almost like we completed the game, but actually we didn't complete the game. We're now going to a new unlocked level that nobody knew existed, but we speculated about. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Fanteezy. Fanteezy asks, have you heard of is that Solana Chat? Nah, I haven't heard of Solana Chat. That's not their phone, is it? I think it's going to be epic. Solana's making big moves. Absolutely. And we're going to actually be talking about Solana. We're going to actually be talking about Solana. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, as long as I can, you know what I'm saying? As long as I can get through this. So we'll see. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I can speed read. Hopefully I don't lose y'all. Just let me know if I'm going too fast, or let me know if I'm going too slow. Hedge fund manager Mark Yusko predicts $150,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, spurred by halving. Again, if you ask me, any of these $100,000, $150,000 by the end of the year predictions, if you ask me, believe it or not, those are all very conservative. Those are all very conservative. I know that it conceptually sounds crazy, but if you didn't watch the last live stream, which a lot of you may not, it's very intimidating. It's 7 hours long. Believe it or not, for anybody who was bold enough and has the toughness to watch the entire live stream, I think that I presented a very solid and infallible argument as to why I believe these $100,000, $150,000 price predictions are very conservative. These are actually conservative. Okay? One of the main reasons why I believe that is because literally to get to $100,000, all Bitcoin has to do is what it did last month. And that's not even considering the halving. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fanteezy. Fanteezy says, nah, it's supposed to be a messaging blockchain built on Solana, sort of like WhatsApp mixed with Zoom. Yo, that's interesting. I wonder if they'll implement that into the software for their phone. Shout out to Lois Guy 9. Lois Guy 9 says, yep, 200,000 is on the horizon this year as far as I'm concerned. I definitely could see that. I definitely could see that. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree with Lois Guy 9, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. I definitely could see that. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching, wherever you're watching from. I appreciate you. If you guys have not smashed that like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, make sure you guys take a moment, hit the bell, and subscribe. All right. Mark Yusko, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital Management, said on CNBC that he expects, look at this, he expects Bitcoin's price to go parabolic later in the year, hitting $150,000 as a result of the upcoming halving event. So again, he's basing his price prediction on the halving, which makes sense, but I don't understand why he thinks if we did the halving, right, and we do the math, theoretically, that should at minimum bring the price at some point to $140,000 at some point. Only considering what the halving should do by decreasing the price or by decreasing the supply by half, theoretically, the price should go up double, which would put us at around $140,000, which is right at this $150,000. However, that's not including any other market issues or adoption or ETFs or anything that could happen. That's only considering the halving. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Carlton Way. What's good with it, bro? That's only considering the halving. You know what I'm saying? Hedge fund manager Mark Yusko believes that Bitcoin's blockbuster year is merely getting started. So do you guys remember that article that we read last live stream where they said it looks like Bitcoin is positioning itself to be on an 8-month run? Now imagine this. Bitcoin is positioning itself to be on an 8-month run amid the halving, which the halving at minimum mathematically would assumedly put Bitcoin at $140,000 within the maybe 1 or 2 months from the halving. That still leaves us about 4 months in the year. And historically, cryptocurrencies always skyrocket around the end of the year and Christmas. So because of those factors right there, any 100,000, 150,000 number, if you ask me, those are very conservative. You know what I'm saying? Those are very conservative. In an interview on CNBC, we didn't read that. In an interview on CNBC, Morgan Creek Capital Management CEO was typically bullish on the price of the coin, which he called the dominant token and a better form of gold. Okay. Post halving, you get a lot of interest in the asset. A lot of people FOMO in, and we normally go about 2 times fair value in the cycle, Yusko said. Yusko pegged the fair value in this cycle around 75,000, which means that is somewhat undervalued as of right now, boosted by the halving, but weighted down from a potential value of $100,000 by transaction fees from ordinals and inscriptions. This time, I think 2 times 75 because there's less leverage. So that gets us to 150. Now, but he's saying this for by the end of the year. So he's saying this, estimating that this stuff is going to happen around November or December. I don't see the price waiting that long. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to OG Patrice. What's good with it, OG Patrice? I don't see the price waiting that long. Yusko sees the run-up in price happening about 9 months after the halving, which is currently set to take place around April 20th. Now, here's my question. Why would this take place 9 months after the halving? Why would that take so long? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Why would they do that? Once that occurs, you start to get an increase in demand, but the supply of new coins goes from 900 a day to 450, Yusko says. It starts to become parabolic towards the end of the year, and historically, about 9 months after the halving, we see the peak in price before the next bear market. Okay. Yusko explained that his fund only invests about 20% in liquid tokens, but that related stocks and companies are a tougher sell than the underlying assets at this time. They're at valuation levels that are tough to stomach, Yusko said, of Bitcoin mining companies and those which make mining components such as AMD and NVIDIA. We like things in Ethereum. We do like Solana. We do like Avalanche, but Bitcoin is the king. Okay. So again, we have multiple hedge fund managers, multiple financial company CEOs, multiple people that are reinforcing this. I agree 100%. And if you listen to any other cryptocurrency channel, or if you listen to, any other blockchain technology related channel, anything related to this, they're literally saying the same thing that I'm saying. DC Precise says he's going off the previous cycle, which may not be the case anymore with all of the institutional buying. Exactly, which has driven the price up to its new high. The Bitcoin has never really hovered around an all-time high pre-halving. Billions of dollars in ETF inflows have never occurred pre-halving. This could possibly change the entire game. And in most cases, I mean, when there's more money flowing in, it's hard to believe that it would change the game in a way where, it would be negative. You know what I'm saying? It seems to me like the only things that could possibly be changing are just the skyrocketing amounts. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says not just the halving, why analysts are bullish on Bitcoin in 2024. So now let me ask you guys a question. Have you all seen any articles whatsoever that say that people are not bullish on Bitcoin based on the data that's included in the articles? Have you guys seen any that say any of that? Literally every single article coming out is for the most part consistent, saying the same thing. The massive overall demand for Bitcoin, along with the macroeconomic factors, play a far bigger role in driving the price of Bitcoin this year, which again is different for the most part than any other pre-halving, which is one of the reasons why this could really springboard and skyrocket very, very quickly. Okay. The Bitcoin halving in April will only be one small part of why the cryptocurrency could see a phenomenal gain this year, according to multiple industry analysts. Not just one, multiple industry analysts. Multiple industry analysts feel this way. Okay. Next month, the Bitcoin halving will reduce daily Bitcoin production by about 450 Bitcoin from the current average daily amount of 900 Bitcoin, investment researcher Lynn Alden told Cointelegraph. However, Alden said the amount of supply cuts pales compared to daily fiat flows in and out of crypto exchanges and Bitcoin exchange traded funds. All right. And we're going to talk about the amount of fiat currency that's going into these things because it's ridiculous amounts at this point. Okay. In fact, inflows or outflows can easily exceed 10x of that value, Alden said, adding that the overall demand for Bitcoin is a bigger factor than tightening demand. So now let me ask you guys this question right here. What's going on right now with the Bitcoin demand? Everywhere except for this chat room. What's going on with the demand for Bitcoin? Literally everywhere else except for this chat room. Historically, demand for Bitcoin has been more correlated with measures of global liquidity, such as the global broad money supply, Alden stressed, referring to a chart reflecting the Bitcoin price versus global monetary supply. Look at the Bitcoin price versus the global monetary supply. Still not enough to convince people, though. Still just not impressive. What my question for people is if Bitcoin isn't impressive, then what impresses you? What impresses you? You know what I'm saying? So I think the halving is important, but it's only one factor out of many that determines the occurrence and timing of the bull market. So now let me ask you guys this question. What they're saying here is that the demand is surging, right? And what they're saying here is that the demand surging is more determinant on the price increase. All right. So if the demand increasing is more determinant on the price increase, what is the supply demand increasing going to do to the price prediction of 150,000? Because remember, 150,000 price prediction is simply based on a supply crunch that's going to be caused by the halving. What this article is saying is that, yeah, that's important, but it's not as important as the demand. Well, if the demand is surging and the supply at the same time is shrinking, that's huge. Again, that right there is something that literally would make somebody consider, well, these $150,000 estimates, they might be kind of conservative. Hey, if you guys agree with AB Promotions, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with AB Promotions, give me a thumbs down. I might have to agree with you, which is wild. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says 10x Research CEO and head analyst Marcus Theinlein says the current rally is undoubtedly on par with the 2020 and 2021 bull market, which initially peaked in April of 2021. All right. So what we're going to have here is a peak in interest. Referring to tools like quantitative analysis, Theinlein has been bullish on the price of Bitcoin after the cryptocurrency crossed its multi-year highs on March 13th of 2024. Based on historical price changes and Bitcoin's recent new highs, 10x Research projected that Bitcoin would reach 77,000 by early April, which is very possible, and 99,000 by May of 24. Now, 99,000. Now, by these predictions, if Bitcoin reaches 99,000 by May of 24, what does that give us within the time period of May 2024 to December 2024? If we're already at 99,000, according to this prediction, in May of 2024, that gives us plenty of time. That gives us plenty of time. And what this also indicates is that this prediction here is more along the lines of my school of thought that, wait a minute, these are some conservative predictions. When Bitcoin made a new high at 68,300, we saw a wave of injury selling, but every attempt to push down the prices has been met with relentless buying. Finland wrote in an email to Cointelegraph on March 14th. What does that mean? That means that despite the fact that the bears are trying to drive the price down by selling it, the bulls are far overwhelming the bears, and that's clearly obvious because when you have bulls like Fidelity, BlackRock, Grayscale, MicroStrategies, those are ridiculous bulls. Those are some that's a hell of a bull. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell. And if you haven't shared the stream to your social media, take a moment, share the stream to your social media. We got 11 people watching and we got 12 likes. If we could get the likes to 20, that would be great. Shout out to Black Spider. What's good with it, Black Spider? So now here it says the analyst noted that each time Bitcoin made new price breakouts in February 2013, February 2017, and November of 2020, the price could grow as much as 189% after 180 days. Now, 180 days is what? How many months is 180 days? Is that's about 6 months, isn't it? 180 divided by or 30 times 6 is 180, right? 30 times 6 is 180. So that's about 6 months. So if the price grows 189% after 180 days, where does that put us mathematically as of right now? Let me see. Let's calculate that. So let's just use a round number. 70,000 times 1.89, which is close to 2, which is consistent with doubling. You know what I'm saying? That puts us at $132,300 6 months out. So that would mean in about November, which is what we had said, November, December. If we're at $132,000 in November, usually December things kind of blow up. You know what I'm saying? So again, the math is mathing. How many people agree the math is mathing? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. If y'all want me to, I'll do that calculation on the screen real quick. So just to reiterate the numbers, the price could grow as much as 189 after 180 days. All right. So again, let's just assume that the price is 70,000. Okay. We're gonna assume that the price is 70,000. I'm gonna put this calculator up on the screen real quick. Hold on. All right, there we go. Let me see. There we go. Can y'all see it? All right. So we got 70,000 times, what did they say? 183%, 1.83. No, that wasn't it because we got 132 last time. What was it? Was it 136? What was it? Let me see. Let me look at the article real quick. Oh, 189. 189. Okay, hold on real quick. So here we go. So 70,000 times 1.89. See, equals, there you go, right there. There it is right there, 132,000. So that right there, using 70 as the estimate and moving 189% forward, we would have 132,300. Okay. And again, that's with like a 6-month period. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, Bitcoin would go up after 9 to 11 months following the breakouts historically, Thinlean said. So what that means is that after 9 to 11 months is going to go up from 132,000. Okay. Thinlean forecasted that between December and February of 2025, or in 9 to 11 months following the March 13 breakout, Bitcoin could move to an eye-watering 146,000, which is consistent with those, with the estimates, with the calculations that we just made. Okay. Although corrections and retracements could occur at any time, traders could use the breakout level 68,300 as their new line in the sand. All right. Where we can argue that above this level, Bitcoin could be materially higher over the next few weeks and months, the analyst said. All right. Despite the possibility that Bitcoin could climb to 146,000 this summer, we keep our 125 price target for now. And based on my little estimate that I got, we were right in the middle, right in between. You know what I'm saying? The current Bitcoin rally is the first time Bitcoin has posted a parabolic rise and hit a new all-time high before the block reward halving, eToro crypto analyst Simon Peters emphasized. So again, these are important factors. And again, these are important factors that are not even being taken into consideration. Those factors are not even being taken into consideration with their price estimates. Okay. According to Peters, the main reason for such a breakout is the launch of spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds in the United States on January 11th of 2024, which I agree with. Look at this. Demand for Bitcoin is far outpacing the new supply. Again, so imagine that's going to accelerate. The demand is going to outpace the new supply by times 2 at least with the halving. Demand is already outstripping the new supply right now with the block reward at 900. Imagine what's going to happen with the block reward at 450. That's my question for you guys. What is going to happen with when the block reward goes to 450 if we're already outpacing the demand at 900? And this is something we've never really had in previous cycles. Peter stressed before the introduction of ETFs, the demand was previously driven mainly by retail, while the ongoing cycle is going to be more quote unquote institutional, he added. According to Peters, Bitcoin miners are the only natural sellers as they have been actively dumping Bitcoin since August of 2023. This suggests to me that miners have already begun selling into the current rally in preparation for the upcoming block halving reward, analysts said, adding that all selling is well bid because of the high demand from spot ETFs, said Peter. Adding, if we do see a slowdown in the spot ETF inflows, this could be an indication of the market topping out and running out of steam. But it's important to note that whilst the ETFs have been a major contributor to the rally so far, they are not the only participants in the space. Many other entities, such as MicroStrategy and Bitcoin whales, continue to accumulate too. And remember, MicroStrategies has a 100-year plan. They have a 100-year plan. And that 100-year plan includes to accumulate and hold as much Bitcoin as possible. Okay. Shout out to Loy Sky 9. Loy Sky 9 says, the financial institutions can come up with way more liquid capital way faster than the average person can. It's literally like having a Bitcoin whale just buying up Bitcoin. And I gotta agree with if you guys agree with Black Spider, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Black Spider says they're trying to keep us out. That's exactly what they're doing, which is one of the reasons why when Bitcoin was first created, when it was first engineered, it was actually engineered to keep people like BlackRock out. If anybody reads the white paper, Bitcoin was actually designed to somewhat prevent and mitigate and nullify the current financial system and exactly what's going on right now. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. That's literally what it was created for, which is the reason why the mainstream media is so hardcore against it. But now what happened is these financial institutions have studied it. They now see exactly what it was meant for. And they say, well, wait a minute, this is a weapon against the current financial system. However, if we can get everybody to not be interested in this weapon and we can control this weapon, we can create a new way to control the financial system. And because most people, are not really into it, as you can see by the chat numbers, and the chat numbers around everywhere that talks about cryptocurrency, because it's not a high volume topic to talk about. The financial companies are coming from behind, but since they have so much money, BlackRock has $1 trillion at its disposal, they're quickly catching up. Bitcoin was made for people like us, not for people like BlackRock, which is why I kind of look at people sideways when they try to steer people away from it. Literally, the financial system is tied to the system that we're fighting. Bitcoin is an out of nowhere project that literally puts weaponry in our hands against it, and people are resistant to it, which leaves you speechless. It leaves you speechless. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, meanwhile, XNest financial market strategist Li Zhang sees macroeconomic developments driving the Bitcoin price this year. Apart from the spot Bitcoin ETF's launch, other economic developments like expectation of a softer monetary policy and lower interest rates in the United States elsewhere could boost Bitcoin's appeal as alternative sources of value, the analyst said. Moreover, geopolitical risks and uncertainties surrounding the U.S. elections could continue to buoy demand, marking the beginning of a sustained bull run in the future, Lee added. Which technically, if you look at Bitcoin in its existence, literally Bitcoin's entire existence has been an insane, on steroid bull run. How many people would, if I don't know if anybody has read my community post, but if you read my most recent community post, I had to ask you this question. Would you guys agree that it's fair to say Bitcoin's entire existence has literally been a sustained bull run with minor retracements, with minor price corrections? If you would say that it is, give me a thumbs up. If you would say that it isn't, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I gotta agree, Black Spider. I think so too. I think so too. Moreover, geopolitical risks and uncertainty surrounding U.S. elections could continue to buoy demand, marking the beginning of a sustained bull run in the future, Lee added. So now when we're talking about this sustained bull run, we have to refer to that estimate that talked about 8 months of rally. Okay? Programmed to occur once per 210,000 blocks, which is interesting. Do you guys think that 210 blocks has anything to do with a supply total of 21 million? Again, mathematical. or roughly every 4 years, every leap year, every February 29th. Anytime you know somebody that's got a birthday on February 29th, your Bitcoin's about to go up. So you'll be able to give them some money. Bitcoin halvings are designed to maintain Bitcoin's deficit and counteract inflation. Since its launch in 2009, Bitcoin has come through 3 halving events in 2012, 2016, and 2020, cutting its incentive from the initial 50 Bitcoin to the current 6.5 Bitcoin. Could you imagine mining Bitcoin and getting a reward of 50,000 Bitcoin today? That would be literally insane. Shout out to my man Black Bitcoin Key. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with you? That would be literally insane. Okay. The soon to come Bitcoin halving in 2024 will further decrease the mining reward from 6.5 Bitcoin to 3.125 Bitcoin. Historically, Bitcoin halvings have been associated with post-halving rallies. For example, Bitcoin skyrocketed, listen, 3,000% in 17 months after halving in 2016, reaching a historic milestone of $20,000 in December of 2017. And that's that time period I keep talking about where Bitcoin just went from, it literally skyrocketed. That was when $20,000 Bitcoin was unheard of. And then it just went up. It literally just. Y'all remember that scene on Money Talks when Chris Tucker showed his girlfriend those diamonds and she was like, "This is wrong." And he was like, "This is right." I'm telling you, I felt like her. I kept looking at my wallet. See, like, y'all don't understand. The very first time you have one of those experiences when Bitcoin skyrockets like that, or when any cryptocurrency that you or any blockchain asset or whatever token that you're dealing with skyrockets like that, and you wake up the next day, it's insane. It's insane. You kind of get scared. Right. This is right. It can't get no right or facts. You know exactly what I'm talking about, DSB. What's good with it? All right. So what we got next is the SEC might delay the Ethereum ETF, which we talked about. We kind of said that was a possibility. We don't know yet. It's still speculation, but in this article, they talk about it. It would be nice if it got approved, though, because I wouldn't mind seeing those $10,000 Ethereum prices, but I don't know if it's going to get approved or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to get approved or not. Shout out to my man, Black Bitcoin Key. I know Black Bitcoin Key like, nope. Black Bitcoin Key like, nope, it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? The SEC may delay Ethereum ETF until December. Now that's interesting, right? Because imagine if it does get delayed until December, and if it gets delayed, then of course the price is gonna tank for a little bit, which is good because that'll give you time to get more. And then imagine what happens if they do approve it in December. In December, approving the spot ETF with the regular price increases, Bitcoin's halving, which is going to push Ethereum price up, and the news of the ETF inflow and the investment inflow of the EPO or of the ETF. That could actually send the price to like 15,000 if you ask me. If that happens. Black Bitcoin Key over here hating though. He said, "Nah, it ain't happening. Y'all Ethereum heads, y'all Ethereum heads ain't getting no ETF." Y'all Ethereum heads ain't getting no ETF. You know what I'm saying? That's cold-blooded, bro. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the SEC may delay the approval of spot Ethereum ETFs following Bitcoin's filing. Bitwise's Bitcoin ETF launched in January and has quickly amassed $2 billion in assets. Again, like regardless where you go, you're just not gonna not hear about the insane amounts of investment and adoption that's going on with Bitcoin. Black Bitcoin Key said you can't even buy Ethereum and make it make sense. Oh man. Black Bitcoin Key just a little bit biased toward Bitcoin. It's all good though. It's all good. So now Matt Hogan believes a delay could benefit the market by giving TradeFi time to adapt, which that's interesting that Matt Hogan came up with that because I kind of feel the same way. I don't know too much about TradeFi, but based on the factors that I'm considering, I think it might actually cause the price to bump up more if that occurs. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all being here. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and share the stream to your social media. This development comes on the heels of Bitwise Asset Management's intention to list a spot Ethereum ETF. Now, here's the thing. BlackRock wants to have a Ethereum spot ETF. And a lot of these spot ETFs, well, the only spot ETF, Bitcoin, they have been trying to get it approved for a long time. And then as soon as the big players started applying for them, magically it got approved. So the more powerful the companies are that are involved in pushing for these kind of things, it's probably safe to say that there's a higher likelihood that they might appear out of nowhere. Okay. Bitwise launched its spot Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin ETF, on January 11th. Since then, the ETF has seen a meteoric rise, amassing over $2 billion in assets and ranking fifth in the so-called Cointucky Derby. Okay. Hogan shared insights into the explosive growth of BitB and other spot ETFs, underscoring their unprecedented acceleration compared to historical ETF launches. And you guys know we've already gone over these charts. The Bitcoin is blowing everybody else out of the water. It's not even any competition. There's not any competition in crypto. You know what I'm saying? As far as that goes, Bitcoin is blowing everybody out of the water. But as far as the ETFs go, all the ETFs in history, Bitcoin has literally just destroyed them. You know what I'm saying? These spot Bitcoin ETFs are the fastest growing ETFs of all time by a large fraction. Let me ask you guys a question. First question is, what is that an indicator of? Second of all, what does that say about people's demand and people's feelings toward Bitcoin? It's a lot of people that feel like Black Bitcoin Key do about Bitcoin, which is good for us. You know what I'm saying? Despite the success spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen, Hogan warned about the potential delay in Ethereum's ETF approval. This may stem from regulatory caution given the growing interest in cryptocurrency investments and the complex dynamics of the market. Hogan expressed confidence in the eventual launch of an Ethereum ETF. Still, he anticipated that a delay until later in the year might actually benefit the market by allowing traditional finance, which, that's what they mean by TradeFi, more time to understand and embrace crypto, which, I mean, how long do they need? Let me ask y'all that question. How long do they need? Shout out to DJ Elmo. Yeah, I feel you, Black Bitcoin Key. That's a legitimate complaint. Like that's why I can't get mad at you for having issues with Ethereum. That's a legit as they come complaint. Literally what you're talking about is the reason why like stuff like Matic and you know what I'm saying, Matic, Polygon, Polkadot, Atom, that's why those exist. Solana, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stay Positive. I appreciate you. Stay Positive with the $20 super chat. Make sure y'all show Stay Positive some love. She said, shared happy New Black Media Appreciation Month. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all show Stay Positive some love. Throw some flames, radiation emoji, ducks in the chat. All right. She the first stream sponsor. Matter of fact, April's first stream sponsor. That's what's good. We think that's a natural pathway that crypto investors have followed for 15 years. They start with Bitcoin and then they want exposure to other things. I think Ethereum will be very attractive. I think the Ethereum ETFs will be more successful if they launch in 12 months than if they launch in May. I know that sounds goofy, but I think TradeFi is still digesting Bitcoin. And if you give TradeFi time to get comfortable with Bitcoin and crypto, they will be ready for the next thing. Hogan explained. Now, if you ask Black Bitcoin Key, why do it sound goofy? He gonna tell you it's because who will buy Ethereum? You know what I'm saying? Oh man. So now check this out. All right. Bitcoin weekly forecast. Bitcoin looks set for correction amid increasing sell signals. That's actually a very interesting situation. And that's not really something that you see very often either. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree that this is not something that's really that you see very often, give me a thumbs up. It's about to get a correction amid increasing sell signals. Actually, I read that wrong. That's exactly what you're supposed to see. I actually got ahead of myself. I'm thinking of the RSI index. My bad. I'm telling you, man. It's wild with the crypto. It's wild right now. A Bitcoin price consolidates below the 2021 all-time high of 69,138. Look at that. That's the consolidation. The risk of a correction to sub 60,000 remains high as sell signals mount. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you all think that we're going to see Bitcoin under 60,000 again? That's what this article is implying. It could be a possibility. Shout out to Leonard DeYuta. What's good with you, bro? If you guys think that we're going to see if we're going to see Bitcoin under $60,000 again, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that we're going to see Bitcoin under 60,000 again, give me a thumbs down. A flip of the $75,000 level onto a support floor would invalidate the bearish outlook for Bitcoin. All right. So what they're saying for the most part is if we don't hit 75,000 in the near future, we're going to go back to under 60 for a while, right at the halving. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin price action remains unchanged as it trades below the 2021 ATH all-time high for the fourth consecutive week. With Grayscale's ETF outflows slowing down, investors expect a positive outlook for the crypto markets, but the short-term directional basis, at least from a technical perspective, remains bearish for Bitcoin. Okay. Which again, I'm not at some point a correction and a mini crash is going to happen. At some point, it's going to have to happen because there's no possible way that like the Bulls can just continue this momentum of buying like this. Like this is, I mean, actually they kind of could if more big institutional players got in, but you know they got to get approval for those ETFs and all that. Right, exactly. And I got to agree with last name, Bitcoin going to the moon. Facts. Shout out to Black Bitcoin Key. Black Bitcoin Key says it will. Just for how long? It could hit under 60 for a couple hours. Facts. And you know everybody be sitting there like vampire with their fangs dripping blood waiting for that to happen. People start going to the pawn shop, you know what I'm saying? If that happens, because you know how Bitcoin people are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin price lacks directional bias. Bitcoin price hovers around a 2021 all-time high of 69,138 after a 65% year-to-date return. Now, let me ask you guys this question. That's okay, right? How many people are satisfied with a 65% year-to-date return? If that's satisfying to you, give me a thumbs up. If that's not satisfying to you, then give me a thumbs down. That should be pretty satisfying to you. The momentum reversal indicator, MRI's warning sell signal of a down yellow arrow hovers above the ongoing weekly candlestick. This technical formation suggests that the next up candlestick would flash a red one sell signal. This signal, from a theoretical perspective, forecasts a 1 to 4 down candlesticks. Therefore, a correction seems all but likely for Bitcoin price, considering its current technical outlook. And again, because as it's literally the same as gravity, it's got to come. It's going up crazily. It's got to come down at least slightly at some point. I've had that happen. Man, I've had that happen, bro. That's when like you be looking at the market and it's the regular pattern, and then it's that crazy dip that goes like all the way down, and it only lasts for like a half hour, and then it comes like right back up. It's like a straight line, and that interval of time between when the dip happened and when it went back up is like is like hairline thin. You'd be like, why they even show this on the graph? They know ain't nobody get a chance to take advantage of that. That's the AI bots doing the trading that was able to get those dips like that. Ain't no, by the time you put the amount in and pay for the shit, it'll be up again. You know what I'm saying? I've had that happen. So matter of fact, that happened last night. I forgot what crypto I was looking at. It dipped way low for like a half second. And it was one of the cryptos that I watched too. I was like, man, see? And you know what's crazy? Have you ever noticed this? I don't know if you use price alerts on anything that you buy crypto with, like Bitcoin Key, but have you noticed that you never get a price alert for those like those deep small dips? Shout out to Kid Gravity. What's good with it, bro? Have you ever noticed that you don't never get a price alert? You'd be like, man, why didn't I get a price alert? This is like $500, $600, $700 under the price for my buy alert. Like, why didn't I get one? You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, therefore, a correction seems all but likely for the Bitcoin price, considering its current technical outlook. The ideal levels for accumulation include the imbalance extending from 53,120 to 59,111. So that's what they're saying we're going to be looking at. Although it's an unlikely scenario, unusually high selling pressure could trigger an extension of correction in Bitcoin price to the 45,156 weekly support level. Now, I think that this is wishful thinking right here. I think that's very wishful thinking. Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says, which country has the highest volume of crypto purchases from individuals, not financial institutions like BlackRock? I would probably, I don't know. I would maybe guess Nigeria. But now El Salvador, the government has been purchasing cryptocurrency. But honestly, I don't know. That's a good question. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't smashed that like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, take a moment, hit the bell, and share the stream to your social media. What would y'all do if y'all woke up and Bitcoin was $45,156? I'm gonna try to find as much whatever type of loose cash, whatever kind of money I could find, and I'm getting as much as I can get. Comparison of monthly and weekly Bitcoin price action to determine potential by the dip levels. Okay, that's just all right. Never mind. A strong weekly candlestick close that pushes the Bitcoin price to flip 75,000 into a support floor would suggest that the bulls are still in control. How many of y'all see this happening? Flipping 75,000 as a support level. I mean, I think it's possible. It's been staying in the 70s. I don't know if there's any. I think maybe if it stays in the 70s long enough, just simply the date of 420 and the halving being on the verge of coming could possibly be enough to keep it over 75,000. You know what I'm saying? This development would invalidate the bearish thesis and kickstart an uprun to the next key psychological level at 80,000, which is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. How many people agree when it comes to this key psychological level of 80,000? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of when. All this stuff right here, it is not a matter of is it going to happen? It's a matter of when. Now look at this. Y'all see that? Bitcoin whale moves $6 billion worth of tokens amid gold miners' potential purchase of 24,800 Bitcoin. How many people heard about this? If y'all heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't hear about this, give me a thumbs down. Bitcoin whale moves $6 billion worth of tokens, which is insane to begin with. And then this gold miner is trying to purchase 24,800 Bitcoin. What does an article like this tell you about the demand for Bitcoin? Neelam Resources potential purchase of over 1.7 billion Bitcoin may prove a good support for the largest digital asset. Bitcoin's halving looks more interesting as large holders begin taking action. What does that mean? That definitely means something that shouldn't be ignored. Facts. It's just another reinforcement of the demand outpacing the supply. Now, again, economics. If the demand is outpacing the supply and the supply is about to shrink by half, what happens to the price? Inevitably. Glassnode has suggested that the move of long-term holders is key in determining Bitcoin's price movement. And I got to agree because there's a lot of long-term holders out there. The Bitcoin halving event rush is showing new market dynamics as whales' activities can shape price movements in new ways. More institutions are also poised to get in on the action, as seen by the recent announcement that South American gold miner Neelam Resources is looking to purchase 24,800 Bitcoin. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is that a positive indicator? If that's a positive indicator, give me a thumbs up. If it's a negative indicator or something that people should be worried about, then give me a thumbs down. Bitcoin post gains ahead of halving. Again, this is one of the things that's different about this particular halving. This is not something that's really been seen before. Okay. Bitcoin has risen above $70,000 for the first time in 10 days. This follows a recent market correction after surging on March 14th to reach an all-time high of 73,835.57. A large portion of the entire crypto market is also posting green candles as altcoins reflect the recovery in the largest digital asset. Okay. The recent gains could be attributed to news that the London Stock Exchange plans to begin trading exchange traded notes for Bitcoin and Ethereum in May. Now, let me ask you guys this again. So, May is a key month, right? Now, even though this is going on the London Stock Exchange, that's going to affect the price of Bitcoin everywhere. That's going to affect the price of Bitcoin everywhere. Another factor may be investors' increasing anticipation for the Bitcoin halving event, which is due in April, as several members of the crypto community on X have kickstarted discussions around narratives that may play out in the coming weeks. This isn't new to the Bitcoin halving events, which see Bitcoin mining rewards reduced by 50%, are usually filled with bullish predictions, as many expect the price of Bitcoin to rise after the reduction in the supply rate, which again is a basic fundamental of economics. Like that, you know what I'm saying? That's literally what you expect. When the supply decreases, the demand goes up. Again, this is what we're calling moving into a Bitcoin drought. How many people would agree that we're moving into a Bitcoin drought? Here's an even better question. With only 21 million Bitcoin ever minted, how many people would agree that Bitcoin's entire existence has been a drought? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Okay. Bitcoin halving is attracting accumulation. What does this mean? This means that because people know they're basically about to be buying a 2-for-1 type deal, people are trying to get as much as they can before the supply gets cut in half. That's basically mathematically what that means. Okay. The halving event seems to be attracting institutional players. South American gold mining company Neelam Resources announced on Monday the filing of a letter of intent. See this? To acquire 100% of the common stock of a special purpose entity that will hold 24,800 Bitcoin, according to Watcher Guru. If the move goes ahead, Neelam would join other big players like MicroStrategy, Marathon Digital Holdings, Square, and Tesla, etc. Okay. Other large movements as the halving approach include mid-range wallets, those holding around 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin. That's what they consider a mid-range wallet. Wow. That's what they consider a mid-range wallet, which accumulated 51,959 Bitcoin tokens on March 24th. One of the largest single day accumulations in recent times. How does anybody even have, think about how much money that is. How does anybody even have that much money to accumulate 51,959 Bitcoin? That is a literal astronomically large amount of money. Big this was one of the largest single day accumulations in recent times, according to data from Santiment. Before this accumulation, the fifth largest individual Bitcoin holding address, look at this, transferred almost all of its entire balance. Goodness, worth $6.05 billion to three separate addresses on March 23rd, according to data from Arkham. $6.5 billion. Yeah, I agree. Facts. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. Facts. Super facts. You know what I'm saying? This comes after holding the tokens in that wallet for at least 5 years. So they just been sitting on this. Okay. The recent activity aligns with Glassnode's earlier predictions that the activity of long-term holders can significantly impact market liquidity and sentiments in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, also related to the halving, crypto firm 21 Shares has said in its latest report that Bitcoin may see an earlier rally in this halving cycle due to the impact of ETFs. So again, what we're getting here for the most part is consistent predictions. Now, here's a question for you. If what we're getting for the most part is consistent predictions, that means that everybody for the most part is looking at the same data, coming to the same conclusions, right? So let's talk about this. Bitcoin becomes more volatile than Ethereum as the halving approaches. Why is that? Why would that be? Bitcoin is going all over the place. Up, down, left, right, looking like the Contra code. Why? Why is that happening? Bitcoin's annualized 30-day historical realized volatility rose nearly 60% late last week, surpassing Ethereum's 30-day realized volatility by nearly 10 percentage points. And as you guys can see, you see how, for the most part, the volatilities, for the most part, matched up. But right here is a pretty big distance, which there's some other areas on the chart that got a decent amount of distance between them. There's some other areas on the chart that got a little, that, you know, they got a decent amount of distance between them. But now my question is, right now, April 1st, what we're currently looking at, why is Bitcoin so volatile right now? What's causing Bitcoin's high activity and unpredictability? And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 17 people watching and we got 24 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 30, that'd be great. I would say shout out to you, AB Promotions. I would say because of the halving and because of the ETF inflows. I would say a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the spread between Bitcoin and Ethereum's annualized 30-day historical volatility gauges increased into the highest in the last year, according to data tracked by Keiko. The spot ETF inflows and Bitcoin's blockchain impending halving have seemed to catalyze greater volatility in Bitcoin. So they agree with what I'm saying. Now here's the thing, right? When it comes to volatility, anything that affects the price in any direction is something that contributes to volatility. Anything that affects the price in any direction will always contribute to volatility. And volatility is degree of unpredictability, degree of activity, degree of movement, degree of chaos, so to speak. Okay. Bitcoin, the leading cryptocurrency by market value and trading volumes, is supposed to be relatively steady compared to other digital assets, protecting a trader's portfolio from wild swings in the broader market. And to be honest, Bitcoin has I would say Bitcoin has like a 55% impact on every single other cryptocurrency. Anything that happens to Bitcoin affects all other cryptocurrencies. It's not like that with other cryptocurrencies. Even Ethereum's not big enough with enough market cap and influence to be able to do that. Something that happens to other big cryptocurrencies may not necessarily affect Bitcoin. Anything that happens with Bitcoin literally affects every other cryptocurrency. You can see that historically on price charts. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. You can see that. You can see that on price charts. If you look historically at price charts, the rest of the cryptocurrency market, it may in some to some degree move against Bitcoin at some periods, but overall, Bitcoin pushes the rest of the market around. Yeah, exactly. Black Bitcoin Key literally said the exact same thing that I said. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. If you look at it, if you think about it like the ocean, you know what I'm saying? Bitcoin is the water, and the altcoins are literally everything else: the boats, the seaweed, the animals. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happens to the ocean literally happens to everything touching the ocean. But if a boat sinks, it don't necessarily affect the entire ocean. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. Bitcoin's annualized 30-day historical or realized volatility rose to nearly 60% late last week, surpassing Ethereum's 30-day realized volatility by nearly 10 percentage points. That's the highest spread in at least a year, according to data tracked by Paris-based Keiko. Historical volatility indicates the degree of price turbulence observed over a specific period. The Bitcoin Ethereum volatility spread flipped positive weeks after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission greenlighted nearly a dozen spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, allowing traders to take exposure to the cryptocurrency without owning it. Since then, traders have been squarely focused on the activity in the spot ETFs, with net inflows breeding upside volatility in Bitcoin and the broader crypto market. In the meantime, the dwindling probability of the SEC approving an Ethereum ETF by May seems to have demotivated Ethereum traders, which is kind of what we talked about earlier. Okay. It's kind of what we talked about earlier. All right. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Lloyd Sky 9 with the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. He's the second stream sponsor. Make sure y'all show Lloyd Sky 9 some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji in the chat, some ducks. Definitely appreciate it. Lloyd Sky 9 says, I believe many top-level projects are secretly front organizations that buy up Bitcoin with offset profit strategy with volatility from their said crypto. Let that sink in. Yeah, facts. Basically like crypto laundering. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to sell you a product. We're going to create a token. We're going to take the Bitcoin for the token, and we're going to use the Bitcoin and the information that we release about the product to play around with the value of our token while we're literally just using this as a vehicle to get your Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? And crypto laundering. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree that that's a possibility, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree and don't think that that's a possibility, give me a thumbs down. I think that's absolutely a possibility. I agree. Listen, bro. Not only do we need a cryptocurrency, listen, check this out, man. For the political action committee, entire blockchain could be created and a token issued, and people who fund the political action committee to get the political objectives done would be able to fund the token through cash deposits, and it will be completely controlled and possibly not have to deal with some of the laws and litigation that cash campaign finance has to deal with. But you would have to get people interested in it. You know what I'm saying? For them to participate in it. And the problem right now is that people are not all people, but many people are very cryptocurrency adverse. Despite literally like libraries full of data providing undeniable evidence of why most of the speculation is incorrect. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. Yeah, shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. The Apple iPhone is as tech savvy as they get, man. Listen, they would do better off getting a Solana phone and getting some of the free crypto that you get with the Solana phone instead of getting the iPhone. Matter of fact, I might actually get a Solana phone, my next phone. And them Solana phones finna be collector's items because they sell out instantly when they announce one. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to Black Spider. And see, shout out to Black Spider for being open-minded, because see, that's what it takes. At least just be open-minded. And then in addition to being open-minded, do your own research. And then come to your own conclusion. A lot of times what we end up dealing with is a lot of people just like they come with false talking points and bat it down without any kind of research. And it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like mad research backing the validity of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know? Now that's a good question. I think it's because anytime there's something that's significantly new, most people are usually adverse to it. What they have, like, I don't know if y'all ever been to like any business conference or anything like that. The best way to get people to not be adverse to new situations is to have what's called a quote unquote change agent. And it's not like an agent like, oh, you know, somebody from the FBI or something like that. It's not that. But what it is a person that's able to make the information about the new product or the new phenomenon palatable for people, to get them interested, to be able to do their own research and come to their own conclusion. Because in most cases, if you're making a good decision, right, you're going to come to your own conclusion. But the problem where people are not able to come to their own conclusion is because a lot of times they already cut off and don't want to listen to the information. So the lack of information exposure will have them still believing in the old ideas. You know what I'm saying? But then once you say, you know what, I'm gonna actually hear this out. I'm gonna actually look at this. I'm gonna look at the charts. I'm gonna go look at some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Once you do that, then you use your own logic and you come up with the decision. I've looked at stuff that people told me about and I was like, nope, I still ain't doing it. That looks and sounds crazy. If that's how you feel about cryptocurrency, at least you checked out the information and that's what you came to. But most people that actually check out the information, look at the people that are involved, look at what people are doing, most people are not going to come to that conclusion. The problem is that most people are risk adverse and not open-minded. There's nothing wrong with being risk adverse. If you're open-minded, your own logic will lead you the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Being closed-minded and risk averse is really that's what makes things difficult. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Telegram. Threema. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Telegram Threema. Please make sure you guys show Telegram Threema some love. I think Telegram was a member before. Glad to have you back as always. I think you might be the 100th member. Hold on, let's see real quick. Let's see. I think Telegram is the 100th member. Let me see. Let me see your tongue ring. Yeah. Shout out to you. So we finally hit 100 members on BLR2. So shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all throw some flames, radiation emojis, ducks in the chat. We finally there. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. We got a testimonial. Lloyd Sky 9 says, exactly. I had an issue with filtering out proper information early on in the crypto space. It was the Wild Wild West back in 2016 and 2017. Yeah, I agree. And see, I was lucky because me and my brother, we got a real good relationship, and he was one of the people that told me about it. So just him being a person that initially exposed me to it, you know what I'm saying? And I have the trust and respect for my brother. That made it easier for me to not have to, put up those initial barriers and kind of just do a little bit of research myself. But like I said, after 2 days of research, I was completely sold, and I've literally never gone back on my position on cryptocurrency ever. Never. I got libraries of content on it here on this channel. On BLR1, I got content on it. It's completely consistent as the entire time I've been making content. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, cryptocurrency and more cryptocurrency, blockchain, artificial intelligence in more ways than one is the future. It's the future. It's inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Bitcoin's blockchain's upcoming reward halving, a quadrennial event that reduces the pace of block BTC emission by 50%, could be another reason for the relatively higher volatility in the cryptocurrency. On April 21st, the inbuilt code will reduce the per block reward to pay miners 3.21 Bitcoin from 6.25 Bitcoin, halving the miners' revenue, which, as per by ByteTree, is currently $26 billion annually. Now, here's the thing, right? It's not going to half the miners' revenue. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is it's going to half the amount of Bitcoin. However, the amount of Bitcoin is going to adjust because the value is going to increase. What could actually be happening is that there could be less Bitcoin being minted, but the revenue could increase because the price of Bitcoin will have skyrocketed so high. Does that make sense? Oh man, BitConnect, bro. Ain't that now? That's that thing that got shut down a long time ago, didn't it? See, now I looked at BitConnect. There was people that was telling me about BitConnect, and I was like, man, I ain't doing this, man. Nah, I don't like this. Here, just you give us your Bitcoin, and we'll give you some token. What's up with the token? Just take this. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna just take this. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a P. Diddy party. I'm not gonna just take this. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the mouse to the X and close the site out. That's what I'm gonna do. I believe it. I bet you people lost so much, and it was flat out robbery. It was flat out robbery. They were so dirty. They were so dirty. I looked at it and I seen it and I said, nope, nope. Bet I don't. I remember it. They was orange. It was their colors were orange and white. They had sweet potato pie colors. Nope. And I like sweet potato pie, but I ain't messing with BitConnect. You know what I'm saying? And then like all the tokens just magically disappeared. Just like they did an actual coin burning, but it wasn't like what was supposed to happen. Like them coins just burned up and vanished. Like that was a disastrous coin burn. Like it was like them coins were stuck in a burning building. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, BitConnect is horrible, man. They had you thinking you was gonna start a referral program and tell your friends and family so they can all get robbed by us too. You know what I'm saying? You got any friends or family with Bitcoin? Come on, tell them so we can steal their Bitcoin. Man, they pulled the rug, bro. People busted their skulls falling backwards on that one. It's like a cartoon. Did 3 flips in the air and landed on the back of their head. Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says Blacklight is the crypto market subject to efficient market hypothesis. Is information publicly available reflected in its price? I don't think it's due to astronomical yields. I would say that the crypto market as a whole, the crypto market may slightly be subject to efficient market hypothesis. In particular, I would say Bitcoin is probably the most subject to efficient market hypothesis. Yeah, they would wine you and dine you and take your Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? They'll fly you out. Take your keys. You know what BitConnect was? BitConnect was like a valet parking person that literally just drove your car off into the sunset. Oh yeah, you want me to park around the back? Okay, cool. I'll put you in a nice spot, and then next thing you know, next thing you know, they on a 5-state long joyride, and using your credit card to put gas in the tank. Yeah, that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, now that right there, see that's a scam. That's a scam. I would never tell anybody to use any program like BitConnect. I bet you they banned all of them videos. I bet you can't even find no content on YouTube about BitConnect. I bet you they got rid of all that. Stuff like BitConnect is some of this, like, that's the kind of stuff that put a bad taste in people's mouths. That's the kind of, see, like, in the cryptocurrency community, man, the cryptocurrency community is supposed to be built for transparency and for fairness and for fair economic value. You know what I'm saying? The cryptocurrency, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, the majority, they don't approve of that kind of stuff or encourage that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that they trying to help get people away from. The whole concept of cryptocurrency's creation was to try to help people get away from financial abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like from their government and stuff like that. Institutions like BlackRock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Win Loser Rug. What's good with you, bro? Win Loser Rug said, "Have you ever heard of Rollbit?" Nah, I never heard of Rollbit. But what people should understand about Bitcoin, understand this about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is meant to help you combat the financial system, which is currently being weaponized against us. Imagine if since 2010, every single black person had to put away $100 in Bitcoin. It might not stop the racial wealth gap, but it would definitely significantly slow it down. If everybody had been putting $10 in Bitcoin since like 2010, many people would have like BlackRock amounts of Bitcoin. This is what people got to understand about Bitcoin. Read the white paper. The purpose of Bitcoin is to help people combat unfair financial systems, scam financial systems. While people call Bitcoin a scam, it's actually meant to help you fight the real scam. The real scam. That's what the purpose of Bitcoin is. Oh, that's crazy. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said Rollbit was a scam coin you would randomly get that would link you to another wallet. Oh yeah, nah, hell nah. That's and the thing is, Black Spider, that's literally actually what it's that's that's actually what it's for. Like if you read the white paper and all that, that's literally what it was designed for. It really for real wasn't designed for people like BlackRock. I'm sure Satoshi was assuming that more people would adopt it before people like BlackRock would be able to get in and do what they're doing. I gotta agree. Shout out to Black Bitcoin Key. Black Bitcoin Key says when you just stick to Bitcoin and no third parties, it's almost foolproof. Facts. And I gotta agree. I gotta agree. If you guys agree with Lois Sky 9, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Bitcoin is the only hedge against inflation. Facts. Bitcoin is a superior asset. It's a superior asset. It's literally the only asset that in the last 11 years has increased 20 million% in value. Literally. That one sentence alone should literally shut down any speculation that anybody has about Bitcoin. It's increased in now again, like this is what I'm saying. Like, what does Bitcoin have to do? What does Bitcoin have to do? You know what I'm saying? Like the standards that people have for Bitcoin and why they say that they don't trust it. For one, all that it's always wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because they're wrong about it. But like if you compare Bitcoin to anything else that people put their money in, Bitcoin has Bitcoin's not even fully adopted and it's demolished their returns. It's demolished their store of value. What else does Bitcoin have to do to prove itself? Like literally Bitcoin is already beyond, like it's literally already outdone everything. And when I say outdone everything, it's outdone, I mean, by far. Look at all the chart when you compare Bitcoin to real estate and all that. By far. We're talking about like a blowout. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to assets, like if this was sports, if assets was basketball, Bitcoin would be 82-0 and swept everybody in the playoffs and swept them in the finals. And people would still be saying, well, we don't know. Like, you know, there's the Celtics and there's the Lakers. Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? And then not only did Bitcoin go 82-1, or not, they went 82-0, swept everybody in the playoffs, were first place in their conference. They had a 100% 3-point percentage, 100% field goal percentage. The entire team made up the entire offensive and defensive first team. What else do they got to do? You know what I'm saying? Like what? That's literally the situation that we're in. What else do they got to do? Their entire team was their entire starting team was the all-star team for the tournament. What else do they got to do? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you're not convinced because they only did it one time. They won the finals in the exact same fashion for literally the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So that scenario of how they dominated their conference and won the finals, That wasn't enough to prove to some people that it's the superior asset. So then they turned around and literally did the exact same thing, except for they scored more points. And also let everybody else have 5 people on the court and they only have 4 and still won for the next 10 years. Like, what else does Bitcoin have to do? It to me, it's okay. So here's what else Bitcoin did. They were also so good after this 10 years. Then the Olympic Committee agreed that there was no need for an Olympic team. They would just use the Bitcoin team with the 4 people. They swept the entire world and won the gold medal. Then they had a 82-0 season, repeating all of the same statistics with 3 people and won the gold medal for the next 10 years. What else do they got to do? What else do they? Well, I still just don't think I just don't think that is good enough. Are you serious? Literally, Bitcoin is held to the most unfair standard of any asset. That's facts. Facts on facts on facts. If you guys agree with Black Spider, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Right. So, right. Exactly. So then what they did was the next 10 years, they started playing with like one arm tied behind their back with 3 people on the court. And then like they had to be blindfolded and they still won. They had a little hole poked out in the blindfold. They could see. Yeah, but they still had both arms tied behind their back. It was a trick. It was some Harlem Globetrotter type stuff, you know. Bitcoin is held to an unfair standard. Bitcoin is held to the standard of, you know, Mike Tyson was one of the best boxers. Well, he can't beat the Incredible Hulk up though. Like, what? That's the kind of stuff you hear when you talk about Bitcoin. What do you? I'm talking about an actual like. If you don't agree that Mike Tyson was one of the best fighters, like you could at least say like Evander Holyfield or George Foreman. You got to bring in comic book characters. Like, what are you talking about? That nigga couldn't survive. He all right, but he couldn't survive a train crash, a train derailment, bruh. Like, we're talking about boxing, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I listen, when you talk to people about Bitcoin, I'm telling you, Bitcoin is held to the most unfair standards. It's unfair. Like, the basis of Bitcoin not being a valid asset is always some kind of insane catastrophic event. Well, if the Earth got sucked up through a black hole, Bitcoin wouldn't be no good. That I mean, we have to go there. So like Bitcoin is not a good asset because you have to it won't sustain a black hole, but literally every single economic system in the world has failed and is artificially propped. But Bitcoin's standard is it has to withstand a black hole. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Like when it comes to like people trying to debunk the validity of Bitcoin, I'm telling like they bring out crazy stuff. Well, if it was an alien invasion that happened, then Bitcoin wouldn't be no good to anybody. I mean, that's right. Neither would anything else, but you're still using everything else, and we shouldn't use Bitcoin because of the threat of an alien invasion that may not happen. The only thing that people ever can debunk Bitcoin with is catastrophic events or crazy conspiracy theory stuff actually happening as the scenario of how Bitcoin would not be good anymore. Yeah, I agree. Facts. Shout out to Lois Guy 9. Lois Guy 9 said Bitcoin is indeed singularity proof in its intangible form as an idea, I suppose. Facts. And there's actually proof. Like the blockchain is the proof. That's the receipt. It's the living ledger. That's why they call it proof of work system, because the miners that mint the coins prove that the transactions occurred, and the block that's produced is the proof of work. And there's the electricity that goes into it that shows it. You know what I'm saying? It's wild though, man. Like when you have these kind of conversations and debates with people and you debate about Bitcoin, the unfair standards that people use to say that Bitcoin won't work is it'll make your jaw drop. Literally things that nothing else is compared to. Nothing else gets compared to the stuff that Bitcoin gets compared to. Or nothing has to hold the standard that Bitcoin has to. Nothing. It literally turns into like some type of immature like kindergarten game. It's wild. Well, if there was a zombie apocalypse, Bitcoin ain't gonna be no good, which is interesting because you know on Z Nation, a show about the zombie apocalypse, if I'm not mistaken, in season 5, after the apocalypse, Bitcoin was the universal currency system. You know what I'm saying? So if science fiction is allowed to use if science physics is allowed to use Star Trek and Star Wars as a gauge of possibility, if we're going to compare Bitcoin not being useful against astronomical events, well, there's a TV show that depicts Bitcoin surviving the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, Bitcoin, the only form of money that's accepted in Zona. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta agree. And Black Bitcoin Key, you know what? Am I lying, bro? All baseless talking points, facts. Am I lying, bro? Literally, that's literally the kind of stuff that people come with when you're talking about Bitcoin. Like you could have a full, flawless presentation presented, and then they'll say, "Well, if the Carrington event happened, like, oh, yeah, but if the Carrington event happened, like the entire electrical grid would be fried. So, like, why is Bitcoin being held to a standard of being no good in an event that would literally destroy everything? The hell, right? Exactly. Bitcoin can be used by just text. Facts. So now here says the consensus is that the halving is bullish and it halves the pace of supply expansion, creating a demand supply imbalance in favor of a price rise, assuming the demand side remains unchanged or strengthens. And again, what they're saying in most of these, what they're saying in most of these is that there's going to be a supply crunch. There's going to be a demand increase. All of these things are things that are going to pull the price way up. Bitcoin chalked out stellar rallies, setting new record highs over 12 to 18 months following previous halvings, which occurred in November 2012, July 2016, and May of 2020. What's different this time is that Bitcoin has surpassed the previous bull market peak of around 69,000 weeks ahead of the halving, which makes the upcoming event all the more exciting for traders. Okay. Literally everybody's, how many people are excited about this? If you're excited to see what happens this halving, throw some flames in the chat. Per Greg Magadini, director of derivatives at Amber Data, the bullish positioning ahead of the halving means potential for a sell the news pullback after the event, which nobody should worry about. I could see that happening too. People are going to get those profits from all the hype, and then it's the price is going to correct itself. Okay. The current positioning being so extended is setting the market up for a very interesting sell the news halving cycle play, Magadini said in the weekly newsletter. Should there be a real pullback, we stand to see excessive Delta 1 futures, OI, become liquidated, volatility, RR, skew to favor puts and a collapsing basis. Magadini added that Bitcoin's options market has been pricing the halving as well. If we look at the options market, we're seeing an interesting structure, a steep IV Contago before 426 and a high forward volatility kink for the 426 expiration. The options market is pricing in the halving event as well, Magadini noted. Again, which means that all the data for the most part is consistent. Okay. So what does all of this mean? What does it mean for you? Hopefully it means that you're in a position to be able to make some nice gains for yourself and position yourself to earn more money in the long term and maintain as much value as you can. You know what I'm saying? I got bad news for you guys. The bad news for you guys is I got to get out of here, and I didn't finish all of the articles that I wanted to get through. So once I get through with what I got to get through and get back home, we're going to do another cryptocurrency stream so that I don't have to do one that's freaking 9 hours long again. And then we're going to bust out that other stream late night. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right. Shout out to everybody that came through. Make sure y'all show Stay Positive some love with the $20 super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Please throw some flames, radiation emoji in the chat for Stay Positive. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9 with the $10 super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Telegram Threema, the 100th member. Shout out to you, bro. Between BLR1 and BLR2, we got over 200 members, which is wild. Shout out to the green team. Make sure y'all throw some flames and some radiation emoji in the chat. And anybody that wants to become a member of the green team, you will be appreciated. It's only 99 cents at the lowest level, so please consider. Y'all will get the notification. If you're not part of Discord, join the Discord. If you don't, you'll get the YouTube notification, hopefully. We'll wrap this up, and then I'll see y'all later on tonight, all right? So as always, ladies and gentlemen,